So my next question is to Dr. Vilona. How can we really help people to be less rigid in their thinking? In your experience, how have you encountered this thing basically?
Sonali, that's a very, very big and very heavy question. I think all the panelists will agree with me that that is, I think, our biggest challenge in mental health to get
So,
people to let go of the must and should, and it has to be like this. That is the really difficult thing. So, for me, actually, the shift happened when I studied REBT, and I think it made life a lot easier for me. And this is personal experience, not clinical experience that I'm picking up from here, but very personal experience that the shift from at least this much should be there if the person cares about me or if the person loves me or if I should move ahead in life
right.
to if this is there it would be fantastic, but even if it is not there I can stand it, has been what has made me a happier person today. And I think when I work with my patients, I try and bring them to a realization that uh, the the cognitions that are contributing to the depressive emotion or to the anxious emotion are stemming from the thought that I will not be able to tolerate it if I don't get this or if this doesn't happen.
Hmm.
Right? And it can be in a variety of ways, whether it is a mother dealing with their child, whether it is a spouse dealing with their partner, whether it is a friend dealing with somebody else. And because it is from experiences that the emotions arise, it is important for people to start looking at, do I really, really absolutely need this? Or
Right.
is it just something that I think will add value to my life? And if it is not there, does it mean that my life is without value? Or does it mean that I need to look at finding that value somewhere else?
Hmm. Hmm.
Rigidity is often something that makes it so difficult for us to cope up with the demands in day-to-day life, right?
Right.
For example, when the pandemic hit, the entire thought that this should not, absolutely must not happen to me or my family,
True.
and that contributed to so much fear. And the reality was that it was a virus.
Hmm.
I mean, there is no control over its spread, right? It can really spread really fast. So there has to be a component of, yes, it would be bad if that happened, but till it happens, let me not jump and worry about things. And when it happens, let me do whatever is in my hand to see that I have a positive outcome, while at the same time being prepared that negative outcomes might also happen.
Absolutely.
So it takes a lot of, work on self, work on the self-talk that you have, work on the emotions that you express as a result of that self-talk, and then eventually the behavior that becomes the result of the emotions. But it's very satisfying work because when you're able to achieve that, I think you reach a more happier place. You are able
Hmm.
to, work with people around you, and it keeps you in a better frame of mind than if you stand at that rigid point.
Yes.
Um, for us, rigidity is of course also looked at clinically as um, you know a personality pattern that contributes to the person coping from a particular illness. So, as a psychiatrist, I definitely look at whether or not the patient in front of me would have a very rigid pattern of behavior so that I can then choose what form of psychotherapy or what kind of psychotherapist I would choose for that particular patient.
Absolutely.
And because my practice is essentially very collaborative, while I give medicines to ensure that to a certain extent the distress emotions, the rigidity in the personality, and the contributory personality factors are balanced, I know that with therapy there can actually be that shift that makes the person actually start thinking in a different pattern, which can then enable them to say, okay, right now I think I can start slowly getting off the medications. So that's
Absolutely.
that's another plus point there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.